Hey guys, welcome to another review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Hiya Toys Aliens Power Loader. So this is actually the one from the video game, so it's not technically the movie Aliens Power Loader. However, I believe it's supposed to have like literally the same design. But we're going to take a look at all the little details on it, and then I'm also going to be comparing it to some other Power Loader toys that have come out over time. So to start out, let's scoot her out of the way. This is just a Hiya Toys Marine there. Let's get a look at this big guy here. So, upon first look, if we're looking at just the paint details here, it's actually really good. Pretty much everything I would be looking for here. So there's a nice yellow paint, very solid, and then looks like a dirt wash over it. You can see it's definitely been in use, which a power loader, it's supposed to be like a big industrial machine, so it should have that look. We've got little details here, a little arrow. I can't even see what that says. Set? I don't know what that means. Anyway, we got a little like warning decals all over. PWL. It's a little caution stripes. Really, the paint overall, I would say, is like really good on this. It's like I said, what I'd expect, plus maybe a little better, because I wouldn't really get in these little details so much. If I were doing this myself, I would leave these sort of things out. But you can see there's sculpted on there some sort of a number. And then no paint on these wires here, as far as I can tell. They're just a solid black. Maybe a nice brown wash over them would have been cool. Look at that, got some dust on them. Just very nice with the paint overall. See, under the feet, even has like some dark wash on the feet. And then you have the details there, Hiya, and then 2015. I've actually gotten this figure for a while. Well, figure or vehicle, if you will, for a while. I haven't used it too much though, because it does have a bit of a easily breakable feel. Like, I don't feel like this would survive a tumble off of any shelf or table necessarily. Then again, if I'm talking adult collectibles, most of them, I kind of get that feeling with modern NECA figures. I really do get that feeling. And it's something about the plastic. It's very rigid, not a whole lot of give. Gives me the idea that one solid fall could take a part out pretty easily. I haven't seen it broken yet, though, so at least there's that. Now let's move on to let's do some articulation looks on this here. So with the arms here, looks like we have some in-out movement, which it's pretty far out. And then I've been seeing if I can get this to turn. For mine, it won't rotate at the shoulder, which I don't know if that's just stuck on there. It looks like there's supposed to be a ball joint, but it's just not moving. We could try maybe the boil and pop method on that, but very rigid, just not getting a movement there. So that's definitely a bit of a downgrade there. I'd assume that's supposed to move outward, because otherwise you can only get so much movement here. Then at the elbows, we actually get a decent, about 90-degree angle there. And then the wrists, we do have this in-out movement. And then up here, we get a spin, which is a separate piece right there. So spin and in-out are two separate parts, not just like one ball joint, which honestly might be better if it were a ball joint, but this does look more like the way the machine operates. And then these things are supposed to move together. I'm getting a little resistance here, let's see. Yeah. So they slide together to grab onto the alien queen, if you will, not let her go. And they separate there. It moves around pretty loosely, but then once you get them up here, it feels like it locks in place. So, well, at least at the top. Bottom is just kind of freewheeling. Interesting. So that's the movement for the arms there. Then for the torso, I guess you would call it. Obviously no movement. The roll cage itself here doesn't actually open on like a joint or anything. It looks like, as far as I can tell, you're only supposed to pop it out, which again, the rigid plastic makes this scary. So there you go. So it's not really an articulation point in my opinion, which I would have preferred if they added 2 hinges up here. It would have probably caused for some more potential break points, but I think I would take that over that feel of ripping it off. Then down here to the hips, I guess you would call it, we do have what looks like ball joints, which on mine, again, feels locked up. Oh, Lord. Oh, you heard that? Oof. Didn't break. Did move, though. So we got a little bit of wiggle room on that. It's just very tight. And then the other side here, please, Lord. We do get some movement, too. See, because of the movement of that, it makes me feel like I should try to force these, but at the same time, there's a joint, then there's the ball in there. So, if I pull too hard on the joint, I'm just going to snap it, I think. Nope. Alright, so we do get movement on the shoulder there. I finally was able to work that out. However, it is hindered by the wires going up the shoulder or arm there. So it gets stopped about there and about there, which is about all the movement you would need if you had a human in here operating it. Oh Lord, here we go. Okay, so this side moves too. Yeah, we get decent back and forward motion on it. Oof. And then now on the knees, you can see there's a joint right there. It gets only to about an obtuse angle there. And I like how the it doesn't work on this one, but down here you can see the hydraulics on it moving in and out. I noticed there's a lot of RoboCop figures that have that on the back of his leg. Usually a great area to break too. That happens very frequently. Slide that back up there. And then at the ankle, do we have anything? I don't think, no ankle articulation. Nope, I lied. Just like all the other joints, very tight. We get a few clicks in one direction and the other, which helps. So that's ankle rocker pivot. That helps get more of an action pose, if you will. A little more spread-legged poses. So with articulation taken a look at there, let's toss the figure in and see how that works out here. Pop this out. Oof. And then, so this is a Hiya Toys figure, so this is basically one of the figures you'd expect to pilot this sort of a toy. And then it does have these handles on the side here that move in and out. They get a little closer so that the character can hold it. If I can just wiggle this on. Oof. It feels like I'm gambling with every movement I make on this guy. So I have had a few Hiya toys so far. None of them have really broken on me, but at the same time, I've always been aware that they very well could. So I've been especially careful. So we got the hand locked on there. So one of the problems I'm coming across with this figure is it feels like she's not going to be able to make contact down here with her feet. And that's a bit of a problem because that's one of the ways you pilot this. So let's drop her down more. She'd have to be all the way down here. And I don't think she's too much smaller than the male figures. This is the character Redding, I guess. I actually saw a playthrough of that video game. It looks difficult. Oh, there you go. So we had our first snap off here. Looks like that. There's a little piece of metal that this snaps onto that it's supposed to hold on to, and it looks like that came off. So that's a win. Let's put that back in her hand. Looks like it'll be a decent, easy fix, but yeah, we'll just leave that off. Wonderful. Okay, so let's put the cage back on. Get that on there. By the way, this retailed for, I believe, about 50 bucks, so this should be a pretty quality piece. It doesn't even come with a pilot normally, so there we go. For displaying, this actually can look really cool if you're able to get everything together. I think because of this right here, I'm pretty disheartened with the figure right now. I don't even see like how that was supposed to... Yeah, that's going to be fun to put back together. But you get that there. And of course the articulation is all limited based on the figure you have in it. Normally I would use one of the boss fight figures that I have, the bug hunt figures, which are basically like alien marines. But this one, I've had them in there before, and it's really hard to fit them in. They're really bulky fellas, so you have to like take off all their armor, set them in, and then they work more than decent, but I don't know, I didn't feel like doing that. And by the way, these are amazing figures. Marauders always knocks out of the park. Hiya Toys, however, you know, hit or miss here. So since I have her in here, let's see, I guess you can also see there's a little light at the top I don't think I referred to. It's kind of a clear plastic. It would be cool if that had some light working on it, and you could like switch it on. I guess for $50, you get what you pay for. Okay, so now let's take a look at this one next to some of the other power loaders that have come out. So here we have the also 1/18 scale Leonard power loader. Now this one obviously isn't movie accurate, but as a toy it's actually really cool. I think this one displays much better. Obviously it has a more cinematic look to it. If this one you were to paint up a bit more, maybe add a few articulation points to the shoulders and knees, this one would be probably more fun in my opinion. Still not screen accurate, but if I can pull out a little bit here, look at that. You can see he has a machine gun mounted at the top, which I think there's not really any weaponry on here. There's like this burner that Ripley used right up here, and that's basically it. So as a toy, this one has more playability in my opinion, especially since this one hasn't broken so far. But, you know, for a display piece, this one obviously looks much better. The Hiya Toys. Yeah, if I were to review this one, I'd go over all the little details, but you can tell it's just kind of a clunky spacesuit. The guy fits in there like that. This part up here is attached with a ball joint. Pretty basic. Okay, so that's that one side by side. She's looking a little dwarfed by it too, because that one's already a little bit larger. So let's set that aside. And I do also have the Kenner power loader, which is a beast. Let me see if I can pull out. Whoa. Hopefully I can not get too blurry with that. And then you can see the scale difference here as well. Obviously this is meant for 5-inch figures, whereas this is 3 3/4 inch to 4-inch figures. This one, again, not movie accurate, but it's a little more or so than the other power loader. And I don't know, in my opinion, this one is more fun. Like, if I could just rank by fun quality, this one's going to get it. Because, again, this one I feel very iffy, moving around, manipulating. It's basically set it in a position, put it on the shelf, walk away. This one, you get a lot of movement on it for the arms, just up and down. No shoulder, no elbows, no knees. It has wheels on the bottom. Nope. It just has the idea that you would roll it across on the bottom. So it's a very solid, just one piece. And then pincer hands on both sides. But there's a lot of play value here. Even the big rifle on top, big old cannon that would normally have a missile, and then that goes down on the back there. Even has the little handles here for her to control. This one's fun. I like this one. Still not movie accurate, obviously, and for movie accuracy, this one is obviously the best one you're going to get. And that's what I appreciate. That's why this one I think is worth getting, just for the mere reason that it's movie accurate, it's video game accurate, and it's really cool looking. But then let's scoot this guy out of the way again. You can see size difference is massive versus a lot smaller. The last one I'll take a look at here isn't really a power loader, but I did get this one because it reminded me of the power loader, and it's just this exosuit from Marauder Toys. It's a black and yellow. It also it has a Live, Die, Repeat look, that Tom Cruise movie. It's just really cool, and I feel like these two kind of work together. If you were to add a black dirty wash to this, you could imagine them both kind of operating in the same world. So if you were world building or creating like a sci-fi loading deck or something, you could imagine this guy hauling stuff, you could imagine this guy hauling stuff. Just really solid, cool concept there. And also in scale. So let's scoot him out of the way again, and I think I'll call that it for this review. What do you guys think? Personally, would I recommend getting this? Only if you have shelf space for it, because like I said, this isn't to be messed around with. This isn't to be given to a kid or made to recreate some of your favorite scenes from Aliens, where you get I actually have an alien queen here, if I can try not to break stuff. Alien queen up against it, like, that's pretty cool, right? But what I think this one has the pincer mouth, so you can even like try and shoot up in there. Yeah, look at that. Watch out, watch out. Yeah, that's cool. But it's hard to get that sort of play feeling out of this one. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and comment. I'll see you guys. Bye.